November 1st, 1946. These are the New York Knickerbockers. This is where it all began. Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, Canada. The New York Knickerbockers and the Toronto Huskies meet in the inaugural game as a new league is born. A league that will grow by leaps and rebounds. A league that will increase in stature and reach enormous proportions in the 25 years that follow. Empire State Building. It was here that Maurice Podoloff presided at a meeting that was both historic and symbolic. The Basketball Association of America merges with the National Basketball League. The result of that merger is the National Basketball Association, the NBA. Podoloff, a Connecticut lawyer, is selected to guide the league in its formative years. He is the first commissioner of the NBA. The merger left 17 teams in the NBA, but it wasn't long before one team surfaced, and the league had its first dynasty. The Minneapolis Lakers dominated play in the late 40s and early 50s, winning 5 championships in 6 years. If the Lakers were the dominant team, it was because they had the dominant player of his time, a 6'10" bespectacled giant named George Mikan. Mikan revolutionized the game with a new style of pivot play. He had the rare combination of athletic skill and extraordinary size. And the Lakers surrounded Mikan with an all-star cast. Slater Martin, the team's quarterback, a 5'9" Texan, tough, aggressive, intelligent, fast. Vern Mickelson, 6'7" tall, a strong, rugged rebounder, the perfect complement to Mikan under the boards. Jim Pollard, great rebounder, superb leaper, and a consistent scorer from underneath the basket or outside. And the Minneapolis fans went wild. The growth and success of the NBA in its early years can be attributed to its stars, not all of them Lakers. There was Carl Braun of the New York Knickerbockers, an outstanding two-hand jump shooter. Larry Faust, strong, durable center for the Fort Wayne Pistons, one of the few who could be competitive against Mikan. Max Zaslavsky, master of the two-hand set shot, the league scoring champion in 1948 when he played for the Chicago Stags. Mel Hutchins of the Fort Wayne Pistons. Ernie Vanderway, who played for the New York Knicks when he wasn't studying to be a doctor. Easy Ed Macaulay, smooth shooting center for the Boston Celtics and later the St. Louis Hawks. Dolph Shays, a deadly shooter for the Syracuse Nationals. The fabulous backcourt combination of the Rochester Royals, Bob Davies and Bobby Wanzer. And now Davies on the shooting end. Twice in their 5 championships, the Lakers had to beat back the challenge of the New York Knicks. Smaller than the Lakers, but faster and more aggressive. Under coach Joe Lapchick, the Knicks made the playoff finals 3 straight years, but never won the title. In 1953, the Lakers met the Knicks in the championship round. The Lakers won 3 of the first 4 games and needed just one more victory to clinch another title. Ernie Vandeweghe has the ball for New York. To Harry Gallatin, to Dick McGuire. And back to Vandeweghe. Into Connie Simmons for a hook shot and a score. Vandeweghe steals, and the Knicks trail by 1. But they can't stop Mikan. A 3-point play, and the Lakers go ahead 88-84. And the Lakers win their 4th championship in 5 years. The final score, 91-84. And the Lakers celebrate their latest victory. There was to be one more victory celebration before the dynasty came to an end. The 24-second rule put a premium on defense and rebounding. This was tailor-made for the Boston Celtics. And this was the start of a new dynasty. One man changed the face of professional basketball in the decade of the 50s and through the decade of the 60s. His name is Bill Russell. It is no coincidence that the Celtics won their first world championship in Bill Russell's rookie season. He was the master of defense. He blocked shots to stifle the opposition, and he grabbed rebounds to trigger the Celtics' machine-like fast break. Always on the end of that fast break were Bob Cousy and Bill Sharman. Great Celtic players made up great Celtic teams. Their dominance of the courts produced what seemed like an endless succession of championship after championship. 8 of them in a row, from 1959 through 1966. Gave a tremendous boost to the cigar industry. Each Boston victory was accompanied by the ceremonial lighting of Coach Red Auerbach's cigar. Stars like Clyde Lovellette and others failed to stop the parade of Celtic championships. Bob Pettit of the St. Louis Hawks, the only team to beat Boston out of a championship in Bill Russell's first 10 years. And Pettit's teammate, Cliff Hagan. Tom Gola of the Philadelphia Warriors. And his teammates, Neil Johnston. And pitchin' Paul Arizin, the peerless jump shooter. But still the Celtics maintained their mastery over the NBA. Their success was unmatched by any team in any sport. The secret of that success was teamwork. The 60s brought a group of new superstars. Oscar Robertson, the Big O, considered by many to be the greatest player inch for inch to play the game. Jerry West of the Los Angeles Lakers by way of the University of West Virginia. And his teammate, the remarkable and courageous Elgin Baylor, who joined the Lakers the year before they left Minneapolis and played through a glorious career filled with crippling injuries. And Hal Greer, who became the 6th player in the NBA to score 20,000 points. The Celtics fought them all. When Cousy and Sharman stepped aside, their places were taken by the Jones boys, Sam and KC. John Havlicek came along to blend with established stars like Tom Heinsohn. In 1962, Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points in one game and averaged 50 points a game for the entire season. He is the greatest scorer in the history of professional basketball, but he could not lead his team to a championship. Then, in 1967, Wilt Chamberlain put it all together, and the Philadelphia 76ers interrupted the Celtic streak of 8 straight titles. It was the end of a dynasty. Or was it? The Celtics won again in 1968. But when they finished 4th in their division in 1969, everybody said age had finally caught up with them. But the Celtics weren't ready for the rest home, not just yet. After beating the 76ers, they knocked off the New York Knicks. And they were in the playoff finals once more. In the final minute of the 7th game, they trailed the Lakers by 1 point. Los Angeles had the ball into the corner to Keith Erickson. He sees Elgin Baylor alone underneath, but Bill Russell anticipates the pass and intercepts the ball with a tap to Havlicek. Erickson swipes at Havlicek. The ball skirts free into the hands of Boston's Don Nelson. He shoots. The ball pops straight up and straight down. And the two old Celtics are champions again for the 11th time in 13 years. Bill Russell had retired in 1970. But in his place is Willis Reed of the New York Knicks, the new king of defense, a man whose competitive fires burn as brightly as did Russell's. Playing with a badly damaged hip, Reed is the inspiration the Knicks need. And Walt Frazier is everything else they need in the championship game against the Lakers. Introducing a new style of integrated team play on offense and defense. The Knicks end 24 years of frustration. They are champions at last. As part of its silver anniversary celebration, the NBA selected the 10 greatest players of its first 25 years, all retired. The all-time team starts naturally with George Mikan, the league's first successful big man, the central figure in the NBA's first dynasty. And here's the hook shot made famous by big number 99. Paul Arizin of the Philadelphia Warriors. Hitch and Paul, one of the greatest jump shooters the game has known. 2 times NBA scoring champion. Bob Davies, Rochester Royals, a backcourt magician who preceded Bob Cousy as king of the little men. An amazing outside shooter as well as a remarkable ball handler. Watch number 11's accuracy on this 2-hand set shot. Dolph Shays of the Syracuse Nationals, the kid off the sidewalks of New York, who became the Syracuse franchise. He scored 19,000 points in a 16-year career. Number 4, a big man who could shoot from anywhere. Joe Fulks of the Philadelphia Warriors, first of the great scorers. He perfected a jump shot to average 23 points a game when no other player averaged 17. The man with these fantastic moves could only be Boston's Bob Cousy, considered the greatest little man in basketball history. He made All-League, first team 10 times in a 13-year career. a career in which he scored more than 18,000 points and made almost 7,000 assists. They all called him the Magician. When Bob Pettit retired from the St. Louis Hawks in 1965, he had made first-team All-League 10 straight years after missing it as a rookie. He was also the first player in NBA history to score more than 20,000 points. It is neither fair nor accurate to identify Bill Sharman merely as Bob Cousy's backcourt partner with the great Celtic teams. Sharman stands on his own, a remarkable jump shooter and an even more remarkable foul shooter. 7 times he led the league in foul shooting, and he set an accuracy record by making 93% of his foul shots in 1959. Few people heard of North Carolina College, and fewer heard of Sam Jones when the Celtics drafted him in 1957. He stayed around 12 years, played on all but one of the Celtics' 11 championship teams, and scored over 15,000 points. Bill Russell's story is not the 14,000 points he scored or the 21,000 rebounds he grabbed. It's the countless number of shots he blocked, the thousands of points he prevented. It's his defense that changed the game. It's his competitiveness and desire and motivation. Mostly it's the 11 championships in 13 years, 2 of them as a coach.
My name is Jerry Lucas, and I play for the New York Knickerbockers. My job is to help make NBA action happen here on the court. In 1946, when the NBA started, the New York Knicks played the Toronto Huskies, and fans heard the play-by-play on a radio like this. Great broadcasters painted pictures of the action and kept fans glued to their seats. During that first NBA year, a funny-looking electronic box came into the game. Action like this came into the living room. The NBA has come a long way since that time, and so has Panasonic. In 1960, people were hearing about 2 rookie phenoms named Jerry West and Oscar Robertson on the first portable radio introduced by Panasonic. Today, you can listen to the action on a Panasonic ball and chain or a complete Panasonic entertainment center. Television grew from that funny-looking little box to game-stopping Panasonic models like this. Televisions that bring you the action anywhere on battery. And the most exciting achievement of all, Panasonic Color TV. To make you feel you're at the game without ever leaving your chair. Today, Panasonic products bring you the action of NBA basketball, all the excitement of modern electronic living. Everything you need to be tuned into the 70s, Panasonic and the NBA, both just slightly ahead of our time.
No NBA story would be complete without the men with the whistles, those generals of the floor, the referees. Pat Kennedy is the best known of the basketball officials, the first to assert his authority over players and coaches. Others followed, some with more flamboyance than others, some more forceful than others. They were essential to the growth of the game, even if not everybody agreed with them at all times. Kennedy, you've been commissioner of the NBA since 1963, but I know your association with the league goes back much farther.
Yes, actually, in 1946, the first year of the NBA, Chris, I was the league's first public relations director.
And in all those years, you've seen a lot of great moments.
Some great players, some great games, and some great shooting, going all the way back to the late 40s when Andy Phillip came up with one of the longest and best ones I remember. Then there was Bill Sharman's shot in the 1957 All-Star game.
Let's take another look at that one, Commissioner.
Actually, Sharman was attempting to pass the ball to Bob Cousy under the basket. He was as surprised as we all were when the ball went in the basket. I'll never forget either the New York Knicks winning their 18th straight game to break the league record for consecutive wins. They scored 6 points in the last 16 seconds against the Cincinnati Royals to do so.
Knicks still have a fighting chance, but they'll have to get that ball back. .105 to 101. They foul right away. It'll be a backcourt foul. And they're over the limit. It's 105 to 102. They call timeout. New York would like to have this ball looped in for the chance at the steal. And it's intercepted. Put in by Dave DeBusschere. 105 to 104. 10 seconds to go. Intercepted by Frazier. Frazier shoots. The follow. There's a whistle on the play as Frazier went up with 2 seconds to go. Fans, if this is pulled out, it will be one of the miracles of basketball. The Knicks come back. Hold on. Knicks trail. 2 seconds to go. They trail by 1 point. It's tied. 105 to 105. With 2 seconds to go. Walt Frazier. Cincinnati will call timeout most probably to get the ball at midcourt. He makes it. The Knicks go in front. They throw in. Reed intercepts. Reed shoots. The ball game. Hold it. We have no official. It's over. All over. The Knicks win 106 to 105.
That was unbelievable.
Not only was that unbelievable, but how about that unbelievable shot in the third game of the championship finals, New York versus the Lakers in 1970. 100, 100,
and now the Knicks call timeout with 12 seconds to go. Let's see what Red Holzman has in store now for New York. Lakers trying to pressure the inbounds pass, and it comes in to Walt Frazier with 10 seconds now showing on the clock. 8 seconds left to go on the clock. 7, 6, 5. DeBusschere shoots. Hits with 3 seconds to go. 2 seconds. 1 second. West throws it up. He makes it. West threw it up and makes it.
That's the kind of excitement that has helped the NBA grow in the past 25 years and will help it to continue to grow in the next 25 years because there's a steady flow of new stars coming into the league. Stars like Pete Maravich of the Atlanta Hawks. Elvin Hayes, the Big E of the San Diego Rockets. Earl the Pearl Monroe of the Baltimore Bullets. And Lou Alcindor of the Milwaukee Bucks. The NBA, with the greatest basketball players in the world, has shown a steady increase in attendance, so that today, more than 5 million watch NBA basketball each year. Excitement and drama. That has been the NBA story for 25 years. This has been another sports presentation from Panasonic, just slightly ahead of our